Hello spooky peeps, it's G here and we are back for the spooky season with Hallozween magazine, and they have asked me to do a few tutorials again this year, which is quite lovely. I'm super excited. Our first tutorial, we're going to start off with a really simple Harley Quinn, which is exciting. So clean face, good to go. And I'm just going to start with a little bit of primer. If you're just doing this quickly, you don't have to apply a primer, but it does help depending on how much you want to do. I'm just going to use really light foundation because I don't personally like a lot of foundation on my face, so I'm just going to be real. And Harley Quinn is quite a pretty look, so I mean, if you want to go full coverage, then full coverage it is. I just prime all the areas that get quite oily, which my eyelids get really oily, and just my T-zone, which is here and here as well. Here on my face and my chin is the parts of my skin that I have the most texture, because it's normally where I get breakouts a lot, and then especially up here as well is quite textured as well, because my forehead can get a bit sweaty. But just with the primer there, we'll just wait for that to like nicely set in. So micellar, moisturize and prime. Now, Harley Quinn is quite pale. I'm going off the I don't want to say classic Harley Quinn because I don't know too much about DC. I'm more of a Marvel fan. I am leaning more towards Harley, that's played by Margot Robbie. So we'll go with her look that she has for most of Suicide Squad, the movie. Now, I always save, I use my cream foundations, my cream palette, Ben Nye. I use that, and what I don't use, if I mix them too much sometimes, what I don't use, I just put in a little pot for myself, and I can use it again. So I'm just going to take some out of there. It's just so you don't use too much foundation. Now this color that's in here is quite pink and tanned, so I am going to add just a little bit of something lighter. I do apologize if you guys can hear the TV in the background. My husband is home, so, and I think he's watching Zombieland, which is right up there. First film for Halloween season. Everyone loves a bit of zombie. I'm just gonna mix the white in on my mixing palette here and my spatchy. Mix that nice in, and then not to do any wastage. I'm just gonna brush the spatula off with my foundation brush, just because I don't want to waste anything. And as you can see, that is nice and pale. We don't get a lot of sun here in Melbourne, so maybe I can speak for all Melburnians and say that we are quite pale. Now, I am going to be looking this way quite a bit as well, because my mirror is right here. Just work that in nicely. And you can apply your foundation however you like. I normally use a brush just like this, just to get like a little coverage going. And then I will take my fluffy brush and I'll just move it all around. Yes. Sup out. And don't forget to go down on the neck, which is always the area that I forget sometimes. And chin deal. Just gonna put a little bit on here as well. Of course, if you're working on someone else's face, be as gentle as you can be. I'm used to beating my face up a little bit with a brush, so must be much more gentle. Look at that, I'm pale, so pale. Okie dokie, there's that. So that little bit that's left on there, I'm just going to scrape it all off nicely. And I'm going to put it back in my little jar. So I can use it again for myself. Just cleaning my spatchy. And I'm just going to go in with this fluffy brush and just move all of this around, spread it out a little bit over the eyes. Really get into my hairline. Don't forget the ears, always go over the ears. Because the ears are part of the face. I always forget to do ears. I get so eager with it and then my face is done and then I take a photo and I'm like, oh no, my ears. My ears are still human. I don't like it. Just work that all the way down. I am wearing my Daddy's Little Girl. Daddy's Little something. I can't remember what it says. But it's the only Harley Quinn related t-shirt that I own. And of course you can do it yourself at home as well. Just get yourself a white 3/4 shirt or little cuffed one and just put some holes and stuff in it, make it look a bit dirty and DIY it if you really want to look like Harley Quinn. And I'm sure everyone somewhere in the house has some sort of bat. Might not be a baseball bat, but any sort of bat can do. Now I'm going to use, just gonna use some little bit of powder, just a little bit. I say a little bit, but you know, especially on my eyes, just because I don't want it to crease just yet. Just a light spackle. I'm just using talcum powder, so baby powder, just to do that. Most of the looks that I do, I use the baby powder for. I find that some face powders, not all of them, the one that I use is a bit tinted, so I don't really want to take away from the pale color. And most powder in the eyeball. Most of the looks that I do are, you know, the dead, so they're a bit pale. Don't want to put any color in them. Okie dokie. So now that's nice and covered, nice. We're going to do our eyebrows real quick. Just get a little spoolie out. I'm just going to look over here in my mirror, just give these a quick little brush. Just a nice brush out. And I have dark eyebrows, which is very convenient for this look and works for me. You can put a little bit of color in there if you like, just to fill up the holes. Like I would normally put a bit of color here just so they're a bit more symmetrical. They're not twins, they're sisters, so we don't have to be too pedantic about it. I'm just looking for my eyeshadow palette. I got this really fancy Dior face kit for Christmas actually. So we're just gonna use a little bit of the color that's in here. Just as soon as I find a brow brush. My little angled brow brush. And my eyebrows are quite dark, so you know, you go for your colder tones, and we're just gonna fill these bad boys in. And I will try and do this in the camera for you guys so you can have a look. I'm just gonna move this down just a smidgy. There we go. I'm going to do it in the camera, but I will look in the mirror in just a minute. So you're just filling in these little blanks just to make them a bit more, just to make them stronger is the word I'm looking for. And then I got a big gap here. We'll fill that in. Oops. That's okay. We brush it through. And that is all we're going to need out of that one. And I'm just going to bring this mirror over here so I can have a quick squeeze of what I'm doing. So all that colour, I'm just going to brush it through. Just like that. Still beautiful. Still a little bit of a hole. See if I can use the color out of here. Okie dokie. Just gonna brush that through as well. Nice and peel. Eyebrows are done. Amazing. Now for the eyes. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our eyes. And I've just got my Flash Cream palette here. For this, you can use just normal eyeshadow, or you can even use a bit of face paint. I think we're going to use a bit of face paint to get that smudged look going. Or we can just smudge the cream. So I'm just going to put a bit of blue on here. And a bit of red. Just like that. Beautiful. And then I'm just going to get some blendy brushes. And I believe the right eye is red, and then a love heart, and then the left is blue. Excuse me if I'm wrong. Don't really matter because you'd still look like her, so that's fine. You will still look like Harlequin. So right is red, left is blue. Okie dokie. Just gonna get a bit of colour on there, and I'm just gonna put my mirror here next to the screen. And I'm just gonna start, just dab that in there. Now with my my eye shape, because they're a bit hooded, I have to go a bit higher with the colour, just so you can see it, because if I look like that you can't see anything. I'm just gonna start in there, and I'm just gonna do a little flicky bit with my eye shape. I always take the colour up. And then I'm just gonna blend it on there as well. Beautiful. Then I'm gonna take a smaller brush for the under part of my eyes and just bring that around. Just a nice little flat brush, and I'm just gonna get in under there to tie that red up there. Nearly poked myself in the eye there for a bit. Don't poke yourself in the eye. I'm just gonna do that. Just bring that all the way. There we go. Beautiful. And that's kind of the shape I'm going for, so I'm just gonna leave that like that. You can always add your own twist to these things. Makes it more fun, and it makes it your own look. Okay, let's go with the blue. Okay, and I'm gonna try and work from this side so you guys can see how I do both eyes. Might be a bit hard. I apologize if it looks silly. Actually, I don't think I can do it. I'll try and do it like this. I got a bit of a different setup around me than I did last Halloween. So I don't really have the desk space that I used to have, which is a bit sad. And I'm just really gonna pack the blue onto my lid here, just because here we go. I'm gonna take my small brush. I'm just gonna go under. Ooh. You know, some days how your eyes are just like too sensitive to life. That's my eyes today. We had a bit of sun today, and I think my hay fever just kind of went like, oh, this is new. We don't usually have sun. We go. Lovely, lovely. And now we're just gonna powder it with a bit of red and a bit of blue. Okay, I've got this beautiful red here. And this red's a bit glittery, so it'll look quite nice. And we're just gonna smooth those edges a little bit. I kind of gotta hold it like this because I'm not knocking the ring light over at the same time. Beautiful. I'm just gonna take a small little round brush with the red as well, and I'm just gonna powder that in at the bottom there, because any kind of stuff I put under my eye tends to crease like something crazy. And we're just gonna put it over. Beautiful. Now it doesn't matter if it's a tiny bit messy, because we are going to sort of mess it up towards the end. I'm going to use a bit of a darker blue over this, just because I really want to set that color in there. Don't know if I like that or not. Let's see if I've got a different blue. That one is too shiny. Let's see if this one does the trick. Oh yeah, that one's nice and glittery. Well, Harley Quinn is a bit fabulous, so I mean, well, she is fabulous, not a bit. So glitter, adding some glitter to this look is never a bad idea. I don't know if you guys can see that, but look at that color creasing under there. But that's okay. Easy fix. Take my tiny brush again. I'm just gonna go in with this beautiful color as well. Nice. Look at that. And then I'm just gonna use the tip of this brush here. And I'm just gonna fix up this edge here. Just lightly kind of buff it out a little bit. Ooh. Lovely. It's a nice colour. I don't know if you guys can see that shine there. Okay, now I need some eyeliner. Sorry, I hit the ring light again. Definitely going to need a red lip liner, so I'm going to leave that out just so I don't misplace it again. I'm going to use a liquid liner to draw the little love heart. I know she's got another tattoo on the side of her face as well that says rotten. By all means, if you want to write that out, go for it. I've got my black eyeliner here, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do the top half of my waterline and then the bottom bit. It will transfer as well, so you'll see what I mean. Look at that deal. Oh, the whole eye there. I'm going to do it off camera. I don't want really, just gonna do it over here at my mirror, and then I'll be back, okay? Okie dokie, I'm back. So I've got my eyeliner in there. Nice, nice. Beautiful. And then I've just gone and smudged some of this red there, but that is okay. That is okie dokie. Lovely. Now, let us do the lips. I'm just going to use a red lip liner. Of course, if you don't want to use a liner, you don't have to. I'm just following There we go. And I'm just gonna not connect them, but and there we go. And as for the red lippy, I am just going to use the red cream from my flash palette that I used on my eyes. I'm just going to use that for my lips, just so I'm not wasting any product. And there we go. I've just gone over, I've just not made my cupid's bow so pronounced, just to make them look a tiny bit fuller. There we go. So that's that, and then we're gonna do this love heart. So it's high on her cheekbone, so right under her eye here is where it sits. I'm going to do it with a black liner pencil first. I'm just going to look in my tiny little mirror here to do this. There's our beautiful little outline. If you don't have a liquid liner, don't stress. There's always face paint. which is my medium that I go to. So I think we're just going to do it in that. It's easier to wash off as well. So I'm going to get myself a nice, small, rounded, sharp little brush. And we're just going to do it this way. Okay. You can also use like a Q-tip or a cotton bud, as we call them here in Australia. So you can use a little Q-tip. The round of the Q-tip will help you out, so you can kind of just press and press, and then you'll have a really good shaped heart. My paint in my spray bottle. I'm just going to put a tiny bit of moisture in there, a bit of water, and then we're just going to move my brush in there. Now, you don't want it to be too wet. You want a nice consistency. So normally test it on your hand. That looks good. Lovely. I'm just going to get my little mirror back out and concentrate. And there is our little love heart. Yay. Okay. Love heart's on. Good to go. Now comes the fun part. So what we're gonna do is, with her lip, it's all under the red. So I'm gonna use the back of my hand, and I'm just gonna go like that. And there we are. There's that little smudgy. Wipe that off my hand, or else that red will literally go everywhere. And I'm wearing a white shirt. That's why I'm wearing a cape, just in case I made a mess, which is very possible for me. That one. And then you can keep the eyes like this. You can keep them nice and pretty if you want to. Up to you. Or I will show you how to make them not so pretty. So you can just use your finger and go down as well. This is before we apply mascara as well. So if we just use our fingers, we can go down. You can use a brush and more powder if you like, to make it more pigmented. But it is quite a smudged look. It's up to you, but we might add a little bit. So I'm just gonna take my finger. I'm just gonna go down. And as you can see, this has set so beautifully. Just like that. I'm gonna do the same with this red eye. Just like that. And now, be fun. Paint with fingers. Which is always fun, but there we go. I think that looks quite alright. And that paint has already dried. And now, just don't touch the rest of your face, because I'm just going to make that a bit more. Okay. Yay! Beautiful. There's that. So now, just to apply some mascara, make those lashes pop. If you want, you can put false eyelashes on as well. Make it a bit more dramatic. And there we add just a little bit of drama. Do the bottom lashes as well, really open those eyes. Doesn't matter if it's messy. She's just kicked some ass, so it is going to be messy. There we are. Now for the hair. Last Halloween I had long hair. This Halloween I don't. So what I do is I just use some face paint. I've put it in there too. Attempted to put it in the two iconic little ponytails, and I just use my Tag face and body paint, and I'm just going to put that in my hair. And I reckon we will put a little bit, and this is the messy part, so put my water in there. I think we're going to do red first. Just going to load up the brush. You can use a nice flat brush, or you can use a kabuki brush, which is this is a kabuki, which mine is very dirty because I painted myself green last week, which was fun. Brush is nicely loaded up, and I think I'm just going to put just a bit up here as well, just so the color flows into there. And like I said, make it yours. And then we'll put some up here. Need some water. If you've got colored hairspray, then use that. Colored hairspray is also easy to wash out. I'm just gonna hold this. And if you have dark hair like me, you have to put quite a bit of color in there just to, that's why I'm putting color at the front as well, and not just in my ponytail, my tiny ponytail, just so you can see. Yep, see it better on there. There's the red, beautiful. Some red. Okay, let's go on to the blue. I'm just going to use the same brush, just cleaning it. And I made a mess. Always be making a mess. Just not make a mess on the shirt. Oh no. Don't know how I did this before. Ah, that way. Let me get my cape back on. There we go. That's better. And now on with the blue. And then I'm really going to paste on the blue just because my hair is darker. You really want to see it. You can use a white, like if you're using paint and you really want it to stand out, you can put a fine layer of white down first, because then that blue will really pop off. But you guys can see that. Yep. Beautiful. Just a little bit more. And there. I'm just gonna look in the mirror here just to get this little bit at the bottom here. And there we are, my friends. There is Harley Quinn. Nice and easy. But like I said before, you can keep the eyes nice and defined if you want to. This is just how I know her. And she looks a bit more like menacing and vixing. Vixing? Is that a word? Vexing. That's the word I'm looking for. So yeah. And there we are. I'm just going to clean my hand real quick. And then I'm going to take my cape off. And pop that over there. And here is my little attempt at a costume. And then I'm going to stand up and show you guys. Okay. Rule breaker is what it says. But there you go. Yay. Beautiful. And there we are. And that, ladies and gentlemen, and all kinds of spooky peeps, is Harley Quinn. And of course you can add the tattoos if you want to. But there we are. Thank you so much for joining me again. And thank you, Hallozween, for once again having me this year. Stay tuned because there is 3 more looks to come. I hope this was easy enough for you guys. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to pop something in the comments below. Yeah. And then don't forget to show Hallozween some love on their Facebook page. I'll put all the deets below in the description. And yeah, also check out my Instagram. And if you're in Melbourne and you need to look spooky, hit me up. I'm your girl. Thank you, lovelies. Stay spooky.